statement as aforesaid of its own motion, file its confirmation. If such a statement is filed and is confirmed by the political party concerned, then the seat secured by such candidate shall be forthwith deemed to be the seat secured by that political party for the purposes of para 5 above in relation to Article 51 provisions. The Commission shall also forthwith issue and post on its website a list of returned candidates, now MNAs, and seats to which this para applies within 7 days after the last date on which the political party may file its confirmation, and shall simultaneously file a compliance report in the court. Paragraph 9. For the purposes of paragraph 5 of this order in relation to Article 51 provisions, the number of general seats secured by PTI shall be the total of the seats declared in terms of paragraph 7 and those, if any, to which paragraph 8 applies. The PTI shall be entitled to reserve seats for women and minorities in the National Assembly accordingly. PTI shall, within 15 working days of this order, file its lists of candidates for the said reserved seats, and the provisions of Election Act 2017 and the Election Rules 2017 shall be applied to such lists in such manner as gives effect to this order in full measure. The Commission shall, out of the reserved seats for women and minorities in the National Assembly to which para 3 of this order applies, notify as elected in terms of the Article 51 provisions that a number of candidates from the list filed or as the case may be to be filed by the PTI as is proportionate to the general seats secured by it in terms of paragraph 7 and 8 of this order. Paragraph 10. The foregoing paras shall apply mutus mutandis for purposes of Article 106 in relation to PTI for the reserved seats for women and minority in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Punjab and Sindh provincial assemblies to which paragraph 3 of this order applies. In case the Commission or PTI need any clarification or order as to give effect to this para in full measure, it shall forthwith apply to the court by making an appropriate application, which shall be put before the judges constituting the majority in chambers for such orders and directions as may be deemed appropriate.
Thank you. Very grateful. Now I call upon Justice Yahya Afridi, who's written a separate short order. Do we need to? You want to read it or you want to summarize it?
Okay. For reasons to be recorded later, civil appeal number so-and-so, civil petition number so-and-so, CMA number so-and-so are dismissed in terms that Sunni Ittihad Council does not fulfill the conditions prescribed for a political party under the enabling provisions of the Constitution of Islamic Republic of Pakistan and the law to be allowed allocated reserved seats for women and non-Muslims in the National Assembly or the provincial assemblies. Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf fulfills the conditions prescribed for a political party under the enabling provisions of the Constitution and the law to be allowed allocated reserved seats for women and non-Muslims in terms that a candidate for a seat in the National Assembly or the Provincial Assembly who in his or her nomination paper has declared on oath to belong to PTI and duly submitted a certificate of the same political party confirming that he/she is the nominated candidate of PTI for the respective constituency shall remain so and cannot be declared independent unless he/she submitted a written declaration to the Election Commission of Pakistan or the returning officer to be treated as a candidate of another political party or as an independent candidate. A returned candidate to the National Assembly or the Provincial Assembly who in his nomination paper has declared on oath to belong to PTI and duly submitted a certificate of the same political party confirming that he/she is the nominated candidate of PTI for the respective constituency shall remain so. And this consistent position maintained by a returned candidate throughout the electoral process should be legally duly recognized by the Election Commission of Pakistan, and such returned candidate cannot be treated as a returned candidate of any other political party or as an independent candidate, returned candidate. And thus, the reserved seats for women and non-Muslims are to be allotted to PTI accordingly. A candidate nominated, number 3, a candidate nominated by PTI for a constituency of a National Assembly or a Provincial Assembly who, after being declared returned, joined another party or sought to be treated as an independent, raises serious concerns about disregarding the trust reposed in him or her by the voters, thus undermining the will of the people. And number 4, the legal implications, effects, consequences of the determination made above in paragraph 2.2 and 2.3, as well as the actions or inactions of Election Commission of Pakistan thereon, although deeply concerning, have not been challenged in the present appeals and petitions, and the persons who would be affected or aggrieved are not parties before this court. Therefore, issuing a definite direction to the Election Commission qua the allocation of specified number of reserved seats for women and non-Muslims to a political party in the National Assembly and the Provincial Assembly would not be legally appropriate. Accordingly, the Election Commission of Pakistan is directed to decide the allocation of reserved seats for women and non-Muslims to political parties in the National Assembly and the Provincial Assembly in the light of the determinations made herein above, after providing opportunity of hearing to the parties concerned, and if required, revisit its earlier decisions on the matter. The needful be done within 7 days of receipt of this order. Thank you.
Thank you. Justice Aminuddin Khan sir.
For the reasons to be recorded later, I dismiss the appeals, petitions, as well as CMAs, and the judgment of the Peshawar High Court is upheld.